Treksploration.
Hello and welcome back to Treksploration. I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris, and I thought we did this already.
We did.
Seems like we've done this. Did we rewind?
We've done it. Oh, we've done it all before.
Do we got to do the whole glasses bit again?
It'll happen again. Okay. Now you just broke some news right before we hit record. What do you say?
It's somebody's birthday. This guy might look familiar. You know that guy?
Nuclear Wessels. Chekhov's cup.
Nuclear.
Oh my goodness!
Wessels.
Now that you showed Chekhov's cup early in the episode, you got to use it later in the episode.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I did find a little peg in the cup. I've been looking for this. This was a peg that held part of a shelf together from a little table that we bought when we were first married from Bombay. It's one of the 3 pieces of furniture, well, 4 pieces of Bombay furniture we still have 35 years later or
Calling
something
Dr.
like
Bombay. Dr. Bombay.
Right? Calling Dr. Bombay. So I keep it in the Chekhov cup, and it actually is now like a noisemaker.
That's nice.
Can you hear that?
Have you ever met Walter?
No.
I did at Dragon Con in Atlanta, I think, and Serenity met him as a baby, so she'll have that baby picture.
I'm trying to think if I've ever met anybody from the original series or from any Star Trek series, and I don't think I have. Richard Hurd might be the closest.
Hey, that's cool.
And I didn't know he was even in Star Trek back then. He might not have been.
He's Tom
Paris'
back
when
dad.
He was just Captain Galaxy.
Yep,
yeah.
Tom Paris is dead. Let's see. I met Walter Koenig, George Takei, which you met, and
I saw Takei
I want to say,
but I never met him.
Never met him. I want to say I met James Doohan, but I'm not sure. But I know I met William Shatner. So.
You should say that you did meet James Doohan because he's not around to contradict you.
That's true.
So,
and I used to be the regional manager for Toys R Us.
Who's to say you didn't? There you go.
So today we're talking about Khan.
Who's to say you weren't?
Khan, the audio drama, episode 2, Scheherazade.
Scheherazade. You almost got it. You almost got it.
Almost got it. I'll get it by the end.
How
old is Walter? What do you say?
He's 1,000. I don't know. I just saw it on Instagram. Let me open up my phone, see if the Instagram is there. Wicked. Oh, apparently there are so many birthdays today.
New Zach Cups.
It's Walter. According to Frakes, it's Walter's birthday. I guess Patty Yatsuke has died this day. It just says remembering Patty Yatsuki. And let's see. And happy birthday for Callum Keith Rennie, who played like the jerky commander on Disco. He was sort of like Disco's version of Jellicoe, but not really.
Okay.
Remember that guy here? This guy.
I recognize the actor's name, but I don't remember the character.
That guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He was all right.
Oh, it's going to go. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what?
I might have to blur that out.
Oh no, my phone is going to pictures of Linda Park. Who would have thought that might happen?
Yeah, but
it's uncanny.
Before I did that, it recommended Grindr, but I'm not sure why.
Grind what now? What?
Now it's just
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ocean.
That's Linda in the water.
Linda in the water. Okay, I'll have to check that out on my own mobile device.
Right. So anyway. So I'm a Trekkie through and through, is what you can see. Living Dead, or hopefully maybe I will meet somebody one day, and it will be Linda Park.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But don't William Shatner and George and don't they get together at Ticonderoga about once a year?
I don't think that George and Bill do anything voluntarily together, and at this point, even for money.
Was it like one thing, or did they just Photoshop them when they were there separately?
I don't recall them ever showing up at Ticonderoga.
Let us know below.
I think I would have been there just to see the cringe moments of them pretending to like one another.
Oh my! What? Shatner's 99. It was a different time back then, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's Takei who carries the grudge.
Yeah.
He was the only one I've seen live. Like, he was at an Icon and he turned me off. I think I told the story on pod before, but yeah, we don't need to rehash that. And you know what? I have met Archer several times.
Oh,
we even waylaid him. You actually tackled him in the lobby of a theater.
Yes, he was so kind about it. I took a train for 24 hours. I wasn't going to not say hi to him. because it was another 24-hour train ride
I mean,
back. That's
if there
48
is an
hours
excuse to just
trapped in a train car.
to to tackle someone wantonly in the middle of a theater, that's an excuse, that's for sure. I mean,
In
that's a
my
valid
defense, I was
reason.
misled. I was told he knew I was coming. Maybe that's why he dipped out the door so quickly.
So, yes, we've seen Captain Archer, more times, than there have been seasons of Enterprise, I think, at this point.
Yeah, I think he's the captain I met the most. That's for sure. So,
Uh,
today we're
okay.
talking about Khan, the audio drama part 2. I can do it.
Part
Scheherazade.
2, Scheherazade.
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 Scheherazade. That's a
Scheherazade.
that's a that's a heroine in the
That
story that
classic of literature.
MacGyver's talks about later on. Okay, we'll get there.
McGivers,
So
whatever
this
her name
again
is.
was
Yes.
story was by Nicholas Meyer, and it was written by Kristen Beyer and David Mack. I think all of these up might be right.
Kirsten Beyer. Kirsten Beyer.
Kirsten Beyer. Okay, it wouldn't be an episode if I
As
didn't
far
butcher
as
your name.
yeah, as far as I know, it's all Kirsten and David and Fred Greenhalgh directing them all. So
What have you heard? Has there been any buzz online? Like I haven't heard anything. Nobody seems excited. I just looked before we started the recording tonight. This is the day before the second episode comes out, and on YouTube it's got 75,000, which doesn't seem like a lot for what it is. But then we got to remember it's also on everybody's podcast feed, also. So who knows what the numbers are
yeah,
there?
that's the thing. Like it's tough to figure this out as far as I can tell because like I'm not watching this on YouTube and I'm potting about it. I
Hmm.
have listened to it. Now, here's the thing. We get them advance so that we can do it beforehand and drop the same day. But I've listened to the first part 4 times at least on my podcatcher. And the second one, I listened to it twice before we went to Mike today, and I'll probably listen to it another 3 or 4 times just as a download when I
Yeah.
get so I don't know how do they track this stuff? That's a very
Well,
interesting question.
I think they're tracked by downloads, so they wouldn't know if people listen to them multiple times, like they would on like streaming services. Because streaming services, you have to stream it again to download it again every time you watch it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, I
not
don't know.
I maybe it's gonna be like a reaction to the advertising because there are 3 ad breaks, which is kind of big deal for a podcast. I've only seen podcast without, like, the equivalent of mid-rolls that you get in some podcasts.
Yeah.
3 structured breaks is quite a bit, so
Breaks turn me off. That's why, like, I started listening to Y-Files podcast, but then there's too many ads, and I couldn't do it.
I don't mind it because I know how to fast forward through them, and I feel like if I wanna keep listening to my favorite pods, this is part of what keeps them going.
That's
What I
true.
do like is when they put them at the very beginning or they put them at the very end.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but they'll, most of the ones I listen to have them at the beginning and then they'll have a middle break, but you'll know when it's coming.
But ads
And,
have been part of
it
entertainment,
yeah,
broadcast entertainment since the old days
yeah.
of radio, television. So it is part of the deal. I'm just spoiled with all the streaming services.
Yeah, it looks to me like a lot of these streaming services are going towards an ad model anyway. They're
They
like
they have
Laura's been
tiers,
watching yeah, well, no, like Amazon. We have like Amazon Prime, and it's just like this show only available with ads. Like even when you have Prime, it's just like,
crazy.
nope, sorry, you need an
Yeah,
ad.
then
Yeah.
that doesn't count, then
Uh,
it doesn't exist to me. Nope. Then I'll
yeah.
pull out a
Well,
DVD or a
I'm still
Blu-ray
gonna
or a
watch The
4K
Boys.
or a VHS or a Laserdisc. But, yeah, so,
And you that's yeah.
have you heard any
Mm.
buzz? I haven't heard any buzz. The very few people are reviewing it,
No.
so I think that's good for us.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard much buzz, and the thing is, I have a feeling it's because people are still talking about Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Now that Strange New Worlds has gone, for this season, now that we got through the finale, I think people are going to be looking for more Trek, and I have a feeling that maybe they released the first one right before the finale of Strange New Worlds because they knew that people might have an appetite. They can find the first one right away, and now they're looking for the second one. That's what I'm hoping anyway. That seems to be a good logical way to do it,
It seems logical.
you know? The first one is free
Exactly.
or available right away anyway.
So, do we wanna do the recap or first impressions?
Why don't we do some first impressions? What did you think? Or do you no, let's do the recap.
Okay. Um, Chris, can you give us one of your amazing Episode recaps.
I can try. I can try. 3 weeks have passed since Hugo's death at the hands of Ivan. Oh no, why are you pushing me off this cliff? Ah, splat. Khan is still convinced it was an accident and insists that everyone in the settlement work in pairs going forward for safety, which points out to Marla how alone she is. No one volunteers to partner up with her, and she dare not ask, which is why she accepts, with some relief, Khan's order to accompany him on a survey mission of the wilds of SETI Alpha-5. A party departs consisting of Khan, Marla, Joachim, Ivan, and three of the colony's handful of young adults. Erica, a budding scientist intent on cataloging all the natural wonders surrounding them. Richter, a young artist who is drawing everything he sees. And Sylvania, who seems primarily concerned with dissing Marla and getting into Richter's pants, in equal measure. While out scouting together, Khan and Joachim's talk turns to Khan's recent troubles with Marla. Joachim gives Khan the benefit of his experience of being in love with a non-augment woman. Khan admits that neither he or Marla have been acting at their best, but admits that he cannot abide Marla's displeasure. The heart-to-heart is interrupted as the hunting party stumbles onto a family of wild boars. Khan, Joachim, and Ivan kill the game in short order. Marla and Erica have nature adventures of their own, discovering giant flying reptilians that Erica dubs as sedidactyls. I see what you did there. They look hungry and dangerous, and Marla and Erica take to the trees for cover. This will be important later, so don't forget it. Anyway, the hunting trio return, and over the campfire and feast that ensues as night falls, Marla is called upon to tell a story. She tells the tale of Scheherazade, the Persian princess who kept her murderous husband at bay by telling him stories for 1001 nights until he fell in love with her and spared her life. Marla then presses Khan to tell his story of being vanquished from Earth. Khan, not surprisingly, tells Marla to take a hike and leaves the fire. The travelers decide to call it a night. Marla reminds them to sleep under the cover of the trees to avoid the predatory sedidactyls. She then goes to find Khan. They have a frankly amazing talk where they bare their souls to one another. Khan was angry because what Marla asked him to talk about requires trust above all, and she has already betrayed him once by acting against him on the Enterprise. Marla is like, not so fast, bub. I told you. I wouldn't assist you in hurting my crewmates, but you heard what you wanted to hear. She then goes on to tell of her lonely, isolated existence on the Enterprise and how Khan was the first person aboard the ship to truly see her. She chose exile on SETI Alpha-5 as freedom for herself. Both she and Khan come to realize that they don't really know each other at all, the admonition of which seems like a good first step to them finding common ground and establishing an actual relationship. But this kumbaya moment is interrupted as the mate of the wild boar they killed storms the camp and kills Joachim. On top of that, Sylvania and Erica come screaming out of the woods, horrified by giant bugs that were crawling up their legs. Marla dubs them SETI eels, because canon, and they are more horrified to find that Richter has gone missing. Sylvania snarks that this wouldn't have happened had Marla not told them to sleep under the trees. Khan is all like, you know what, never mind that. All of you, take Joachim's body back to the main settlement, and Khan, will continue alone to search for Richter. I am Khan. I have spoken. Step lively. Get out of here. The end. The end. The end?
Wow,
The end.
maybe.
The end of episode 2.
Episode 2. I have to say, the sound design in this episode was great. The special effects, the Foley, all that stuff, the mixing. It was like, when they were fighting with the boar at the end, I was like, "Oh, it's like a horror movie." But, like, I was just listening, And wait,
Yeah.
I think this first audio drama I know of with, like, nudity in it.
Was there nudity? Was there implied nudity?
I don't know, they were getting kinda close, those 2.
I mean, there were sexy times, but I don't know if there were
Sexy time.
nudity. If there was
Well, there
nudity,
might not have
I
been.
don't know how old they are, so I'm comfortable imagining nudity.
Yeah, they gotta
So
be 22, easily.
okay, all
Probably
right,
probably closer to
26
26.
at least, yeah.
They're in their early 30s. So, as long as they're, under 40, we're good.
They're,
Um,
yeah, they're geriatric at
exactly,
least.
yeah. So, I'm surprised, like, this made me think this episode, my first impression. I think this was like, man, human versus wild kinda episode. That was my overall take of it. But it made me think, wow, this should happen more often in Star Trek. People should be beaming down the planets and, like, just getting eaten by stuff, because just like when you go out, into the mountains or into the ocean, you're rejoining the food chain, and we just take for granted they're gonna go to a planet and everything's great. There might be some fungus in a cave or something that makes you act weird, but, like, these people should be getting eaten all the time, right?
It's funny that your mind went to Strange New World just as my mind did,
Mhm,
which is what, like episode 3
mhm.
of Enterprise?
Yeah,
And they all get, like, crazy in the
yeah,
cave, insane in the membrane.
and they're all
So
blaming the Vulcan, of course.
yep, yep. And the rock people, don't
Yeah,
forget
rock
those rock
people.
people. The Vulcan is in cahoots with the rock
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
just so you know.
she might be, stealing mushrooms for soup or something, I don't know.
Maybe some bad make soup.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's funny to me, I didn't see this one as Swiss Family Robinson as much as I did, like They Came to Talk. This was much more of a serious character study about
Mm,
relationships.
that was the other
And
part.
I think it was closeted in or cosseted in, that's probably a better word, an adventure story of them trying to conquer SETI Alpha-5. So I thought it was a good juxtaposition of two different things that this series needs to explore. And we can get into that, but before we go, so overall, I really like this
Good.
episode. I liked it better than the first one. So
Wow,
that's my first impression. I
wow.
think there's a lot to discuss here. So before we do that, we want to know what everybody else out there thinks of Star Trek.
Con!
You can tell us right here on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/at Treksploration. That's at symbol Treksploration, in case we're confusing you and you're typing AT Treksploration and you're like, why isn't it coming up? It's the at symbol. You can also support the show here on the YouTube channel, or you can support us on our Patreon site. That's patreon.com/Treksploration. You can hit us up on Insta at Treksploration Pod, Blue
Right.
Sky at
Blue sky, smile, smile,
Treksploration.bluesky.social.
blue sky.
Send us an
Right.
email at treksplorationpod@gmail.com. Send me your very own baby SETI eels at PO Box 542. Bayport, New York 11705. I'll also take fresh SETI boar meat or even a
Ooh,
SETI dactyl. I'll take a SETI dactyl
sedidactyl.
egg. Yeah, and I'll even
Ooh,
say
a
if you send the
sedidactyl
SETI
egg.
dactyl egg, I'll send it to Albie.
Thank you.
So you can also support the show in a one-time manner with this QR code that Albie's going to pop up right now. Scan it with your phone. It'll give you like a PayPal link or something like
Something.
that, and you can just say, "Hey,
We don't
give
know.
those guys 5
Yeah, there
bucks.
you go.
Maybe give, maybe 50 bucks.
50,
It's up to
it's
you."
up to you.
You can also buy us a coffee. That's buymeacoffee.com/Treksploration. You can be like our lifetime member, the omnipotent
The
Willard,
omnipotent Bullard!
who did just that. And speaking of people supporting us on the YouTubes and on the Patreon, we had already mentioned our new supporter. His name is Christian Daljo. Daljo? He said that I was saying his name right, Albie. Do you want to call up? He actually sent us a video and
Ooh, yeah. Let
he
me
was pronouncing his name.
let me put that right
It's
here.
Delchu.
yep,
Wow, that's
yep,
cool. That's cool. Now we know exactly how to say it.
right? Isn't that really cool? So thank you,
Cool to see our
Kristen,
new member.
for calling it up.
And,
And
he's a acting ensign on YouTube, right? But
I- yeah, you got to tell me what goes on with this stuff.
he's an acting ensign on YouTube, but then he got a promotion to a cadet? I don't know how that works on our
I don't
Patreon.
either.
But anyway,
I
he's
mean, you're the
supporting
best member
us from
running the
both
show.
sides. That's a loyal crew member right there. If we ever gotta commit mutiny, we know who would get on our side, this guy right here.
Right, as long as we learn to say his name over the comms correctly,
Yep,
as he's now corrected us. Thank
exactly,
you,
and thank
Christian,
you,
so
because
much.
I can't say a
Yeah.
name when it's Smith, so
Delchu.
So Christian is now part of, I guess, doubly part of the rest of our crew of intrepid
he's
explorers.
on our
Those
crew
also
twice.
include our cadet, she's really our favorite, Cadet Listen Linda, our other cadet, Rick
Listen,
Tatro,
Linda, hello.
our lieutenant commanders, Scott Seligman and Cosplay Dad. Those are our lieutenant commanders. And also, of course, the captain, Captain Charles from Texas,
Captain
Captain on the
Charles, come
bridge.
on the
Hello,
bridge.
Captain Charles. So we want to thank all of you, one and all, for
Yes.
supporting the show, for everything you do for Trek Exploration, and to everybody who's out there watching right now, supporting, sharing, liking, subscribing, doing like the big like thing. What's the big like thing called?
Sending, karma points. No, that's not it.
Yeah, karma point.
Hype the video.
Hype us,
Hype
hype
us.
us.
And, watch our after shows and watch our members only content. I'm trying to spread that across, Patreon and YouTube members, so,
Yeah,
check out
we've
all
been
the
doing
stuff.
some really good after shows. It's funny, I was listening to our after show for the finale of Strange New Worlds, the season finale, and
Mhm.
we get into a lot of, like, weird, deep stuff on that show. It's like an hour long.
Yeah,
You think, like, we never talked about the finale, but we found another
and
hour
I think
because that's just what we
we're
do.
talking about Peacemaker as well,
That too.
which is
Yep.
cool, very
Yep.
cool. So
And I do really wanna taste it, so I'll wait till last season's theme. Alright.
Jennifer, so we never know what we might get into in our after show, so it's worth the watch, so, they're enjoyable. Yeah, I got a message, I think it was today, "Your after show's an hour long?" I was like, "Yeah, that's us.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. If you like us, there's more of us."
How long's an after show supposed to be?
Exactly, hour, couple, 3. We'll see.
Right.
Uh,
As long as I don't have to edit it, I'm
no,
good.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really edit it, I just put it up there. I think I take out
There
some
you go.
stuff like, curses and stuff.
Blink.
Yeah, don't want, things to happen. You like this one better than the last one?
Yeah,
Talk to
I
me.
mean, so alright, so I wanna just maybe go into that a little bit. So
Yeah.
you like the first one better than the
I
second
think
one?
I did, maybe it's because 'cause I'm more hyped up, more excited, and this one, I wasn't as excited, like, because I was figuring this is like chapter 2, which is just, like, more
Mhm.
establishing stuff, maybe. Maybe I went into
Yeah.
it
I
without the hype. Hype this
I
video.
think maybe that's why I liked it better
Okay.
because I think the first one is going a little bit out of its way to build the premises, the dual premises, and maybe some of the world building and some of the stunt casting. So we get the framing device of the civilian allocations board telling the scientist she can go to SETI Alpha-5, and that way we can bring in Sulu and we can bring in Tuvok and we get Tim and George on, and that's the big selling point. And then we get into Khan's basically the first day of his exile, where it's a lot of grand platitudes and a lot of grand proclamations, and then all of a sudden there's a murder and, oh, what's gonna happen? But we didn't go much beyond that. It really is just setting the scene. I found this one to be much more interesting on a character dynamic level. It's like, okay, we got the pilot out of the way. Let's start getting into these
Okay.
characters now. And what struck me most about this is just what an interesting character they're making out of Khan here. Did you find that?
Yeah, I found him much more, three-dimensional, and I really liked, the way he was with Marla and their relationship together, not as much the public facing version of Khan to the rest of the group, but, their moments together, their intimate moments together,
Mhm.
personal moments together. I like the character he's building, and again, it's hard for me because he was always a big villain, and now I'm just like I'm really intrigued and interested, and I want to see how it goes. And I'm having, I don't know, maybe not empathy, but I'm understanding him more, maybe.
And I think that's maybe the big premise
Hmm.
of the show as set by, what was the name of the scientist in the beginning? I wrote all their names
Names are getting
reading
me
it.
confused. I'm not. I don't. Yeah.
Rosalind Lear,
Okay,
Dr.
Lear.
Rosalind
Yeah,
Lear, who is the scientist that's finding all of the records, played by Sonia Cassidy.
yeah.
She's barely in this, if at all. They barely give a nod to the framing convention, the quote current day framing convention that started the show, and they just dive into everything
Maybe
that's on
10
SETI
seconds,
Alpha
15
5.
seconds in this episode.
Yeah, just to give you some cool TOS sound
Yeah,
effects
she was
as
just
she's
popping in
listening
the
to the
tape.
tapes. Yep, yeah. So that's where I went with this, Albie. Like, it's amazing to me because we're so used to seeing Khan as like this broad, giant, cartoony kind of villain. And I don't think that he would have come across nearly as iconic as he has in Trek lore and Trek fandom without the unique talent that is Ricardo
Yeah.
Montalban playing off the unique talent that is William Shatner. It was just this alchemy of stuff that should not have worked, but it's now
Mhm.
legend. So when I think of Khan, I think of him even with all that very two-dimensionally and maybe someone that it might be a bit dangerous to approach with a truth or an inconvenient truth that he doesn't like. And Naveen Andrews' take on Khan, and I guess maybe the way they're writing him as well, is he's not a pussycat,
Mm.
but he is remarkably open to discussing not only his triumphs and his superiority, but where he might have fallen short, how he needs to understand the people that he is leading, the people that he is ruling, and adjusting what he does and who he is to better be able to do that. And I can't help but remember Spock's impression of Khan. Um,
In the
what do you
J.J.
say?
Abrams
He's
movies? No.
do those count?
Yeah.
But he says, he's very clever, but his pattern, recommends or, he has a pattern of two-dimensional thinking.
Right,
I don't know
right.
why I'm blanking on, like, the exact line because I'm trying to remember
Yeah,
it
when
now.
they were going through the nebula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it's just like and also when they're trying to do the intermix code, and Spock's like, he very well might have figured this out already. So this might not work
Mhm,
because he's smart dude. But of course he didn't.
mhm.
So, was it the intermix or what was it called? I called
I
it the
wanna s
intermix
I knew
code,
what you
but
meant when you said it, so probably. The co
it's correct us down below.
the back door that you just need to flip 3
Uh-huh.
switches to
Uh-huh.
destroy any, starship.
Ray Shields, I can't.
Yeah, I like that line that he said, it was something like, "What if the truth isn't as grand as what they made up about me," or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that really gets into the heart of it was the heart to heart between Khan and Marla, where she is telling him how history sees him as vanquished. And he's just like, why should I bare my soul to you? Because what they believe about me might very well be better for me. Because, but him being so internally reflective and honest with himself, he can't bear to not set this story straight, at least for Marla. And once they come to this understanding, this new, at least willingness to understand one another, I feel like there's much more to be heard here, much more to learn about Khan, which is wonderful because why are you doing this otherwise? What's the point of doing a 9 episode arc about Khan on SETI Alpha-5 if you can't make him somewhat of a sympathetic villain?
Right, that's true. Otherwise,
So,
what's the there, right? Um,
yeah.
I thought it was interesting, the wild boars, because, like, I had a pet that is a pig, but he was on the wild side, closer to a boar than a pig, and, he never liked me, and he was always out to get me. A lot of people don't think about, like, animals being sentient, but the more and more we find out about them, dogs, pigs, many animals, they're looking out from inside there, so I found that an interesting take, and I think that pig was looking for revenge, right? That wild boar? The not wild boar?
Yeah, that was the implication. It's funny you say that because I was just randomly scrolling through Insta as you do,
Mhm,
and there was something about like, okay, if you see this kind of animal, like if you see a bear get small
mhm,
and play dead and they might lose interest. If you see like a bobcat or a wildcat, get as big as you
mhm.
can because then you can intimidate them. They said if you see a wild boar, run, don't run, they're going to kill you.
Yeah,
Like they don't give a crap.
yes.
So,
They're
I
very
have a feeling
efficient.
that if your pet were more wild boar than pet, you wouldn't be doing this podcast with me.
Right, but well, there it was, I'd say 52% wild boar, probably 48% domesticated.
I don't know, I didn't have tusks.
Yes.
Okay, then, yeah, I don't know what to tell you,
It
man.
was big
You
and brown
you
and
should have
scary.
gotten your pet alligator
Yeah.
to
That
guard
was
you,
see, I had 'em
yeah.
at different times, so
That's how that works in Florida,
yeah, yeah,
right?
well, if
You
you leave the
you
front door open, you have a pet alligator, that's how it happens.
right? You had the iguana, then you had the wild boar
Yep,
to get the iguana, then you had to get the alligator to get the wild boar,
and
and the cheese stands
and
alone from what I
because I
understand.
swallowed a fly all to begin with.
Mhm. Right, right, right.
But I
So
found that part interesting, I found the pterodactyl part interesting. I found all the wildlife stuff interesting besides, the nice conversation that they had in the character development. Who were the help me through, who were the other people on their, like, little outing?
all right, so they had 3 kids with them. So, of course, they had the 2 main guys, Joaquin and Ivan, who
Yes.
are Khan's, like, besties,
Ivan's the
his
one that went
generals.
missing, right?
No, Ivan's the one that killed Hugo. Ivan's
Oh,
the one that threw Hugo off the cliff. He's
okay.
the Russian dude.
So who went missing?
That was, Richter.
Richter.
So
Welcome to
the
the
3 the
party,
3
Richter.
kids the 3 kids that they had, was Sylvania, who was kinda like the snarky, horny one,
Okay.
and then, Erica, who was the sensitive. She was collecting all the samples
Okay.
for good,
She
Godot
was the one naming the
and all the
different specimens they
scientists.
saw.
Right, right,
The not fern.
and deciding, you can eat this yellow one, but don't eat the blue
Right.
one, and
Blue or
the
the red
fern's
one,
got
don't eat them. Yellow one's good.
some spiky venom on
Poisonous
it,
to
so
us.
stay away
Yep.
from it, yeah. So she was the one that was cataloging that kind of stuff, and then, Richter was the sensitive artist type
So
who
he's the one missing?
he went
Oh,
missing.
wow. I listened to it 3 times. I
Right.
couldn't figure out.
No, 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 because it was, when Joaquin was being attacked and killed, they were also running out of the woods because they had had a run-in with a SETI eel that one of them stepped on and killed, I guess, and they, well, I guess we'll get a chance to find another one, and then you can catalog it, and that was the
They find more
that
of
was
them,
the
I
yeah.
think.
And, yeah, I
Spoilers.
think then they've no, the eels find them.
Oh, that's right.
Is what happens because that's why they come running out of the trees.
Yeah.
They found these bugs crawling up their legs, and they ran out because they were grossed out and upset, and they run out into the scene where Joaquin has just been murdered by a boar,
Mhm.
and it turns out that now, Richter has gone missing. They don't know where he is. Is he under a tree? We shouldn't have slept under the trees like you said, Marla. It's all your fault, you non-augment you. Maybe he's asleep in a cave somewhere. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
blame is 1, unkind, and 2, it's unfounded here because it's a brand new world. They know nothing about it. They're just guessing.
that's another great thing about Khan in this, though. Like, he wants them to catalog it, but everything that he sees, even if it's a danger, he sees it as a gift for them to claim. I believe that's sort of a quote. Like, he's still so jazzed about the empire and the legacy that he is going to build on this world. And again, it speaks to a human side of Khan that we haven't seen before because when he's talking to Marla, and she's like, "Kirk didn't even really know my name. I'm convinced until I got on that transporter pad," which is the
That was a
truth.
good callback, yeah.
Yeah, and, he's like, "How does someone lead without knowing who they're leading?" And he's like, "I can't understand why the more people from Earth couldn't get behind me, why I was vanquished the way you say, because this was so great to me." He said, "I was made or built to lead war." I wrote it down. Let me get it here because it was just such a great line.
A lot of great lines.
Bear with me. Yeah, he goes, "I was designed," he said, "I was designed to lead armies into battle," which now he's copping to the fact that he was built for a specific purpose, which is to conquer. But he said to win, first he had to destroy, and he never was able to get people to see past that to the paradise that he wanted to build for everybody. So for like this augment that is just supposed to be out for power and, superior ambition or superior ability breeds superior
Right.
ambition. Yeah, I guess so, but is it necessarily a bad thing? Like, if he's got what he considers everybody's best interests in mind, even though they have to coincide with what he believes that is, he still believes that he's doing it for the greater good. So, am I on Khan's side all of a sudden?
I think that's what they're doing. I think once we finish these 9 episodes, I think we'll be there. And we'll watch Star Trek 2 and be like, "Damn it.
Kirk, you jerk.
Yeah, Kirk was a jerk again." They went and killed Khan when they coulda
Mhm.
just, gave him a different planet again.
So, yeah, to me, that's like home run on that part of the episode. And then
The
humanizing
writing's
Marla a bit more.
the writing's great. And another thing about that line about, Kirk didn't even know my name, I'm thinking that the writers sat down and they, like, went through the episode many, many times and wrote down, like, everything and said, "What can we do with this? What can we do with this?" Maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they even bring the painting part back
mhm.
when she's talking to Richter about the technique, and this often happens to me until Sylvania interrupts them rudely. And she goes, Marla's got nothing to offer because she's quite plainly inferior.
Uh,
So I think, like, you look at that now, we see Khan's great intentions, but you see the inherent danger that Star Trek has always had with augments because you have both Sylvania and Ivan increasingly just eschewing anybody who is not them.
They're definitely not set up to be in Starfleet society.
No, no, and maybe that's why they're on this world, but, like, would this world be enough for them? It seems like this world would be just fine for Khan.
Yeah, he seems happy. He seems, melting all over the place. I like to shout out to the just bringing up why does this world look so similar to the one we came from, and obviously it's because when you're doing an exterior shoot, you're on Earth, so it's gonna look similar. But I like them talking about it, and just freaks me out more and more because it's like the one wrong bacteria, the one wrong virus, you step on that planet, you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't that the crux of War of the Worlds when the Martians came out of their pods?
Yeah.
It was just a simple virus that killed them because
Yep.
they hadn't had the natural immunity that we built up
Which is
over
more
centuries,
likely,
millennia.
like it would be anytime two different biomes interact, probably. I was watching I don't know if you've been keeping up in the
Mhm.
news. I think it was Hank Green, or John Green? I keep forgetting them, which is which, but he did a video, and I think Neil deGrasse Tyson, our friend Neil, did a video. It was all about the evidence of, biological life was on Mars. Did you watch all that stuff?
I saw a headline for it, I hadn't watched it, though.
Okay. Yeah, there's just evidence of like some kind of life, carbon-based life that were getting energy from a chemical reaction or something. Very interesting.
Hmm,
But like they both like talked about like what it could be and what it probably is, and it's very promising that it's actual evidence of life on Mars, past life on Mars, which indicates there could be, current life on Mars, like way underground or something, because you know how like on Earth, under Antarctica by the vents and chemical
mhm.
life. But they were saying they have to they put samples in containers and those could come back to Earth. And I was like, do you really want to bring a different life form into our
Mm.
atmosphere, because what was it with COVID? I think they said it was like an eighth of a teaspoon worth of virus that did that to the whole planet or something.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about, just the smallpox
Yeah,
that ravaged the native population here in the Americas when the Europeans came
or-
because they didn't have any
yeah,
immunity to it,
just dropping like
and
flies.
yeah,
I was like,
so, I
you might
mean,
not want to
it
bring it
just
back. Analyze it
doesn't
there.
even have to be a different planet, it could just be a different continent,
Yeah, I mean, the first people to step
so
on Mars, they might not make it because they don't have the defenses built up. Who knows?
who knows? I mean,
But
then there are the other what do they posit that maybe an asteroid hit Mars and chunk of Mars came to
yeah,
Earth, and
that's
that's what started life on Earth, so
panspermia,
maybe
either from one planet to the other, or to both planets, or it might be another theory that just life happens everywhere where the environment is susceptible. So we'll see. Once they analyze this, I think it's supposed to be returned to Earth in the 2030s because they haven't they have the thing there that takes the samples and puts them in pods to be retrieved, but the thing that
mhm.
actually shoot them back to Earth isn't there yet. So.
I thought that we already got some samples from Mars that came back.
Wow,
Remember, because they were having trouble, they couldn't open the container. They were having a real problem opening the or was that for an asteroid that was passing by?
that might have been the
That
asteroid that they, crashed
okay.
into and took a sample and kept going or something. But that one
Right, I'm conflating.
they found all the building blocks that you need for carbon-based life, but no life evidence itself. Anyway.
Very frustrating, very frustrating. Like,
Sean!
this this galaxy should be festooned with life, just like
Yeah,
there is life on SETI Alpha-5.
this SETI Alpha-5. It's a big news story and nobody's really talking about it because so much other crap's going on right now that, like, it is, always too much stuff going on, that any other time in history, I think if we found out there was evidence of life on Mars, that would be on the front cover of everything, not page 3, page 6.
Or just because it's happens to be within your algorithm on your feed,
Yeah.
which is more the truth
Luckily, I
these days.
subscribe to many scientists, so I get the news.
Right,
Dr.
right.
Becky.
The news that is fit to print for
Yes,
you,
important to me.
so
So life on Mars is
important
one
to
of
you.
those things.
Yeah, me too. I think that's just important generally, but
Yeah.
what do I know?
Yeah, what do we know? We're some sci-fi nerds. So that'd be cool if they found SETI Alpha eels on there. You're like,
Right,
"What?"
SETI eels,
Sexy time.
sexy times with the SETI eels. It was funny to me that they're having this basically blatant display of sexual attraction between these young people. When they come back, Khan is just like, "I don't want to embarrass them or discourage them." Like, he's down with it, you
Yeah.
know? And I guess maybe
Well, they're gonna have to
he's just like,
repopulate the planet, or not repopulate,
exa
populate the planet.
populate the planet somehow, so he's just all for it. I just think that was a nice wrinkle too, because that's not something you would have seen discussed or encouraged on '60s television.
Yeah. Is she fertile, or was she, an augment, or what?
They're all augments from what I can
So
tell. They're part of the kids because she was talking, to Richter about his time back on Earth. How come we had to be exiled to be accepted? Don't you remember what it was like back there? They always made fun of me because all I could do was draw. Why couldn't they understand that I never would have hurt them? And then Sylvania says, "Oh, I would have hurt them if I had the opportunity." So it shows you the two
Yeah.
sides of the coin.
So they weren't populating, they were just practicing populating.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess so because if everything we're led to believe was that at conception or at birth, all of these
The eggs are
kids
harvested.
are harvested,
Mhm.
so they needed the gametes for the males because La'an,
Because
but
Khan.
the females, the eggs were hoarded
Yeah.
and just so that they could dole them out and use them judiciously according to their plans, not to the augment's plans.
Mm.
So it's funny because they said that there were a couple of embryos that they brought with them. That's what Mado wants to do with her partner, is to try to see if they can bring one of these embryos to term. Does that mean that they will have augments then on this planet that can reproduce, provided they live long
Oh,
enough?
because the only reason they couldn't is because the eggs were harvested, yeah.
Yeah, but they were harvested at birth.
Right. The
So these
embryo
are still like
implantation
in
should work.
vitro, in utero, so to speak,
Yeah.
right?
Well, embryo
Yeah.
implantation works in the late 20th, early 21st century, so it should, but they're on a, they're like Swiss Family, uh, Robinson,
Yeah, I don't think
Lord
it's
of the
the
Flies.
implantation. They're saying that the women that are on the planet, the augments, don't have the capacity to bring them to
Oh, maybe
term.
they don't have,
They
I don't know, ovaries?
they were talking about, well, I know a little bit about this
Okay.
because my wife and I went through fertility
Right.
issues, and, she had a disease called
Yes.
endometriosis, which is,
Happens a
but
lot.
they were talking about, thickening the endometrial layer in the uterus and making the womb hospitable
Mm.
to carrying a fetus to term. So that's where they were with this. So you have to think that these girls, whether it be Sylvania or Erica, are probably in the same boat. They're probably hampered in that way by design to not be able to carry. So you need to have like this special scientific endeavor to see if they can make the women, maybe not, I guess fertile's not the right word because they're not like
Hospitable?
ovulating or anything.
Right.
Hospitable, I guess. Yeah.
Well, maybe with the 23rd century medical technology that they gave them, that they can figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that was the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Give them
yeah.
a blue light and some new drugs and
You know what's sad? Like, I'm rooting for them now, and yet I know they're all gonna die, and it's gonna be a sand planet.
yeah, what's going to
And
happen
Chekhov's
is
gonna be
like
like, "I totally know Khan. I really do, don't cut me out."
yeah. I think that, Godot is gonna get her partner pregnant,
Yeah.
and then, then City Alpha 6 is gonna blow up and lay it all to waste anyway.
Oh, I had a new
That's
theory.
what
So, after we did our last show, I think I listened to the part 1 more time because I downloaded it on my, iTunes, and, I don't know what they call it, Apple Podcast now. So I downloaded it, listened to it again, and while I was thinking, I was like, "Who is this mystery woman that provided this information? Who would be on Khan's side against Kirk? Who would have, like, a
Mhm,
vendetta and also want to preserve the history of Khan and tell it from his point of view, basically, and that Kirk
mhm.
is a jerk?" And I was thinking, is it possible that, you know, we say his wife died. It's looking more and more likely to me that it's MacGyver's is gonna be his wife, but we don't know. But maybe it's the daughter of Khan and MacGyver's
Could be,
that provided
could
this
be.
information. Maybe she got out there somehow?
Maybe the one the scientist
Yeah,
Rosalind Lear
maybe that's
is
who
their
that
daughter.
is.
Yeah. I could do it this way. I think that, and speculation totally, but it could be that MacGyver's is dead. She even says in the first episode, Marla MacGyver's is dead.
Okay,
So
I
she
missed that
couldn't be
part.
the source. I mean, she could be lying. She
Yeah.
could be lying. Nobody really knows where it comes from, but they kind of try to establish it right in the first episode, within the first 5 minutes, that MacGyver's is dead.
Mhm.
So my only question is, if this woman turns out to be the offspring of Khan and MacGyver's, how did she get off of SETI Alpha-5 with
This
the
is SETI
survivors that tried to
Alpha-5?
commandeer the Enterprise? Was she stowed away on the Grism,
Maybe,
right?
because they had worms in their ears and they were doing what they were told,
Yeah, so she could have been secreted away.
and if Rosalind Lear was an augment, she wouldn't admit it to anybody, and she would change her
That's
name,
what I'm
obviously.
thinking. They had a couple of opportunities
Mhm,
to, if they were going to have a secret daughter,
mhm,
secret her away. First was when they're back up on the Reliant,
mhm.
and they could have done something like that, or when they were on the Regular One space station.
Oh, yeah, yeah, very true.
There could have been some shenanigans going on there while they were torturing the crew to death to try to get Genesis.
Right?
So, I mean, there are possibilities, as
There are
Spock is fond of saying.
always possibilities.
So I would be down for any of that because I think that'd be interesting, but, I hope we didn't just figure it
Oh, I
out
hope not.
too.
For the record, I'm always wrong, and I've only listened up to episode 2. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah, we're
3,
not
4
listening
yet,
ahead
even
in
though we
any
have
way,
them.
so
I'm being very good. I'm being a good boy.
yep,
Yes.
good.
So, just things I'm thinking of because I think we as Trek fans we don't want the ending we already know. We don't want okay, and then all his people died and the ship blew up and they're all dead. The end. We want
Mhm.
something left over to continue this story. That's what I'm hoping for. So, as
Yeah, I mean,
you know, as a writer,
the
you think is that something that people would come up with?
yeah, and as a Trek fan too, we had mentioned this on the after show, I think, for Strange New Worlds, not, the New Life, New Civilizations, where there's nothing to say that Pike's story can't go on past the cage. The last time we saw Pike was he was in the beep chair at Talos 4, prepared to live his fantasy life. That's the last anybody's ever seen a Pike in canon that we know of. There's nothing to say at the end of Strange New Worlds they can't swoop in and rescue Pike out of that chair
Right.
somehow so that he can go on. We just haven't heard about it. Same thing here with Khan. There's nothing to say that there couldn't be an offspring from Khan and Marla, especially if she's the only fertile one on the planet
Right. That's
that
what
they
got me thinking.
somehow saved, that
Mhm.
they somehow secreted out. And it makes sense that maybe there is a connection like that because how else would Rosalind Lear know about this? Like, who is her source? Well, the source could be diaries from her mom
Could be. Yeah.
or something like that.
Right.
That's the way I think that would be poignant too because it would give Ren Schmidt more to do. She's fantastic in this, by the way.
Amazing.
I know I was talking about Naveen Andrews bringing like different levels to Khan, but wow, Ren Schmidt is just knocks it out of the park again. Like, that conversation between the both of them, I think that's a better character moment, just genuine sheer character and empathetic moment between 2 human beings than we've seen in all of this season of Strange New Worlds.
Mm, I would almost agree with that, except for the finale with the inner light part.
You know, like yeah,
So
I guess. I mean,
I'd say they're on par.
I maybe and again, maybe I just listened to it again today for, like, the second
What is that
time
called?
before
Recency
and
bias.
yeah, I got proximity infatuation, as they said in Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
Proximity infatuation.
February 31st was it? Something like that.
Yeah, so but yeah, I think that again, I keep coming back to that part, to that scene because it just stood out to
It
me
was
as
great.
something that you didn't know that you needed it until you needed it, until you heard it. You're like, wow, yeah, no, this it couldn't be any other way. They definitely need to approach these characters from where they came from in the original series and find a way to actually make them like a real living, breathing couple that you might be interested in,
Right.
instead of someone that is always a little bit higher and someone that's always a little bit afraid. Marla never seems to be afraid of Khan,
No.
like ever,
She's
which
got
is
moxie.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kid's gonna make it
Yep.
until the planet blows up and
Yeah,
the
then
eel
probably
takes
not,
her
and
over.
the eel eats her
Right?
brain.
That kid's not gonna make
No,
it,
like, she's
but
not gonna make it, but she's got moxie. Um, I also like the conversation, I think, leading up to that. Was it with, Joaquin, who was Khan talking to, the sharing his actual feelings about how, he wants to win her back, and,
yeah.
yeah. I like that scene because that was very realistic to me. Because you always have that, like, your guy friend that you're, like, talking to, you're not putting up any mask or bravado. You're just saying, "Hey, dude, this is the situation I'm in. What do you think? I'm trying to do this," and it seemed very real. I like that.
I liked it too because Joaquin's another one that's not just kowtowing to Khan,
Right.
saying, "What did she do to you?" He's giving Khan
Mhm.
and he's saying, "What did you do?" And Khan's like, "Why do you assume it was my fault?" And Joaquin's like, come on, Khan. We both know it was your fault.
Yeah.
Come on."
Y
And Khan's like, "All right, you're right.
yeah,
So what do I do?
yeah,
What do I
yeah.
do?" You know? And again, it serves to humanize Khan in a way that makes it so that you kind of care
Right,
if they
right.
get together. So that's for as much. So what about this episode bumped you though? I know we're talking about we've been going for quite a bit now. So what about this episode really bumped you?
Nothing really. I just it seemed a little too short for me. I think I got used to the length of the first one, which was, maybe, point
I think about 10
1.5 times
minutes.
longer, maybe 15 minutes longer,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know, but it seemed to be
I
over
think about 10
before I
minutes.
wanted it
Yeah.
to be. So that's not a bad thing. Because they left me
No,
wanting
not at all.
more, but I was like, "Oh, okay, it's
I
over."
think it's
That was
yeah, it's perfect for me because they're in, the exact amount of time it takes me to walk the dog, give or
yeah.
take a minute or two. So it's perfect. And I can just fully devote my attention to it. One thing that's bumping me though is Ivan. We need to get rid of Ivan or do something different with Ivan because he has just become like a Russian stereotype cartoon. It's just like, oh, you're covered in blood. Oh, really? I didn't notice. What are you, Odd Job? Or I guess Odd Job was a Russian, but
Okay, help me
I
with
don't know.
this. He sounded just like that X-Men guy that's metal that's in all the Deadpool
Yeah,
movies. Is it the
yeah.
same
I want
actor? I
to.
don't even know, but it might be, but it sounded like him. I was like, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny." So in my head, I
yeah.
pictured that guy, the big metal
Gotcha.
guy.
It just to me, if you're going to get to a character that is just like a vocal stereotype,
I must break you.
yeah, exactly. It's like Ivan Draco,
Yeah.
you know?
But yeah, I
Uh,
enjoyed it. Nothing really bumped me. Too short. The camping scene, I really like that because it really sounded and felt like they were camping. There's crackling fire, there was crickets in the background or whatever, not crickets, whatever they are. Mhm.
One thing that I want to get into is just the choice of title for this and why Marla gets into the story of
Yeah.
Scheherazade.
Is that a real story that you know of, or is that something made up
Oh
for
no, of
this?
course. That's you've heard of 1001 Arabian Nights?
Yes. I wanted to
Yeah,
ask about that.
that's okay. So in the Western canon, the reason we know about those stories is because it was Sir Richard, I want to say Burton, but that was the guy that was married to Elizabeth Taylor. I have the book. It's usually right here on my shelf. I've looked at it for years, but it's in a box right now. So it comes to our Western canon through a collection of stories that were amassed by, I guess, an archivist, folklorist, Richard Burton, Sir Richard Francis Burton, not the guy that's married to Liz Taylor.
Different guy.
And yeah, different guy, different Richard Burton. And I think that's where I've never read it. I always intended to read it. But like Marla says in the story, it's essentially a framing device, this Scheherazade thing, where in order to not be killed, she entrances or enchants. That's what I was trying to say. Her murderous husband with these stories, and then she stops right before the end so that she can go to sleep. So the next night he wants to hear more. And it's from this I think you get like Alibaba and the 40
Yeah.
Thieves and the Genie of the Lamp, like the Aladdin
Right.
stories and stuff like that. All of those stories from that mythology, that canon, that tradition come to us, I think, through Sir Richard
Oh,
Burton.
okay.
So, and I've had the book on my shelf for years. I've been meaning to read it. I think I read like maybe 20 years ago and I never got back to
Is
it.
it set up to
That's
where
always,
there's just little stories you can read individually, like Reader's Digest or
yeah,
something?
think like Grimm's fairy tales with like with a framing
Okay.
device. They're all different stories, but
Oh,
they're all
and they're
collected as like
referencing a
that's like
framing device that has in a story that has a framing
exactly.
device.
Exactly.
All the way
But
down. Turtles all the way down.
I'm trying to figure out, now that we know the origin of that here, like why Marla would know it, why is she using that as an example of the story to tell? And I know that she wants to convince Khan to tell his story. Is she trying to somehow manipulate him and convey the transformative power of storytelling? And how, if he tells his story, his legacy might be transformed, or the way history sees him might be transformed. Is Marla really, she's really canny if that's what she's doing.
I think I took it more from a conspiratorial, point of view. I thought
Oh,
yeah, I thought she is trying to trick him into keeping her alive, and trying to trick him into falling in love with her so she can survive. And I think she's telling us that she's doing it by using that story as an example.
well, I'm not so sure that that tracks with me.
Okay.
And I say that's a valid interpretation, but she's not actually telling a story. She's telling the story of how the woman told the stories to stay alive, but it's not like she's going into those stories
Right.
to enchant them and to make it so that she can live one more night in the camp or
Right.
something like that. So I think yeah, I wanted to look at it more
I
metaphorically,
like yours. I like yours better, but that's not where my brain went.
but that's where my brain went. What you're just saying, that's where my brain went originally.
Okay.
But when I was listening to it again, it didn't really bear it out because she's not starting a story that they all want to hear the end of. She's saying, here's the trick, you know.
I'm jaded with all capital letters. I've been tricked so many times that I don't even play the game anymore. So I'm always, looking out for what's really happening.
The other, but you could be right too, because I mean, Khan is apparently, they're talking about Tehran.
Mhm.
He's supposed to be like from the Middle East. So this Arabic slash Persian folklore tradition might actually speak to him, who he is, even though I've been trying to track on throughout the course of the series the places that they mention here when they're on Earth. And it seems like Khan's legacy and his exploits span the globe, because they're talking about like war in Tehran. They're talking about going to Montana. They're talking about, in this one, another theater battle that I forgot what the name
Des
was, but
Moines.
it seemed like, yeah, Motor City, Detroit. So
Exactly.
right here, and yeah, right here on the wasteland that is Long Island. So it's it's funny to me that they keep on having like these more fantastical exploits that are just mentioned in
Yeah,
passing amongst Khan and his buds, you know?
yeah. It'd be funny if they were just yes ending and telling stories
Could
around a
be.
campfire. For a little bit in the story, I was wondering, why is it important to tell the history of Khan to this new planet? Because like all that happened, a galaxy far, far away, long, long ago. They're starting fresh on this planet. Just tell the history of this planet moving forward and leave that all behind. But I understand she's a historian. McGivers, right?
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Mm.
Maybe she'll have something to do for a change. That's all she's looking for, something to do for a
Well,
change. I just needed something
what
to
did you
do.
excuse me. What did you think about that? Where she was basically felt trapped, day after day, not being needed and just being there.
Seems to me that that's a weird thing. To me, that's a relic of either 60s TV, or maybe copping to the fact that if you're in a starship and you need a mission specialist that might or might not come in handy for a specific thing, well, you're out on the frontier on a 5-year mission. If you need a historian, you're not going to be able to get one. And so you might as well keep one on hand. And if that historian is just now like, what is she doing besides painting pictures and going to the gym?
Yeah.
It's a lonely, miserable existence, but that also speaks to her. I mean, she could be introverted. Like, she's been on that ship for a year. She didn't make one freaking friend. I mean, she got to eat. She got to go out occasionally to. So it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you look into that a little bit, that can bump you, because don't look too deeply into that. It's a nice way to get them to understand one another, but it speaks to different problems with Marla, that she cannot relate to anybody on a ship after a year. even in a basic social way.
Every other Starfleet officer that is in my brain uh, would be like, okay, I'm not really needed right now as a historian. I'm a historian, but there's so much other stuff to do. Maybe I can help out in engineering. Maybe I can help out in hydroponics. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could learn this, or maybe I'm also good in this part and I can go on away missions for this reason and not just being a historian. They're all multitasking, all keeping themselves busy, eating chocolate pudding all the
Mhm.
time, stuff like that.
Yeah, and you go to a bunch of different planets. Don't you need to catalog the ruins? The where with the salt vampire, they had Nancy and what's his face cataloging these ancient ruins. Shouldn't she be involved in something like that? Shouldn't they be involved? They found the freaking Guardian on the Edge of Forever and another set of ruins. Like, they're finding ruins all Apollo's temple.
Yeah,
They're
that's
finding
true.
ruins all the
McGibbon
time.
should be
MacGyver should have
very,
been
very, very
up to
busy.
her eyeballs in work.
Yeah. See, that's why I think in the original episode, Spacey, what I got from that was she was new. That's why he didn't know her name. Not that he didn't
Well,
care, but
they retcon this
yeah,
that she's been on the ship for a year doing
yeah,
nothing.
which is crazy to me.
Hmm. It's a long time between, those planets.
You
You
know,
don't get to
it's
see
like
the travel
you're
time.
staying in a hotel, but once a week it's going like this. You know? I don't know. Can you imagine sleeping on that ship and rocks fall out of
Uh,
the ceiling? It's crazy.
I would just pitch a hammock, and that way.
Oh, that's funny. I think they
Uh,
didn't they do that in Picard season 2, or were those bunk beds? Season 3? 2? I don't know.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
they're bunk beds. Yeah. They wouldn't put Patrick in a hammock. Oh, yeah, so that was that episode. It was short and
Mhm.
sweet. I enjoyed it,
Hmm.
I thought it was cool that, they had, sedidactyls. Is that what they call them?
Yep, sedidactyls.
Brought up a memory.
I'm trying to think. Okay, are we gonna find dinosaurs on this planet? Oh,
Yeah,
what's your
I
memory?
guess. Flying lizards at least, right?
You have memories of flying lizards? Do tell.
It's a weird thing. Okay. So I was about 10. Cape Coral
Hmm.
Yacht Club.
Okay.
We had finished swimming. I was with my mother, me and my mother, and we were heading back to the car. You got your bathing suit on, you're kind of wet, you got towels
Hmm.
and stuff like that. What I thought was a pterodactyl flew over. It blacked out the whole sky, and it wasn't a plane. It was definitely like a pterodactyl looking creature, looked like a lizard, petrosaur, I guess. And it was so low that it, like, grazed the top of the trees, because there's, like, in the parking lot, there was 2 lanes of trees, and it just went over the whole thing, and everybody looked up and was like, "What the hell was that?" But this was before internet, this was before cell phone cameras, this was before anything. You had the 110 that had to go, "Ooh," for 2 minutes before you took a picture. And
Hmm.
it just freaked me out, and I never understood what it was. And then fast forward to maybe 5 years ago, I'm on the internet and I'm just typing stuff in like, am I crazy? Did this ever happen to anybody else?" Right? And apparently, a lot of people have had this happen to them, and it's in the, like, weird conspiracy cryptozoology, websites. But people have sworn that they've seen, like, basically pterodactyls just fly over. And I to this day, I can't explain it, but I remember it, my mom remembers it.
This is okay. So is this cryptozoology or like Mandela effect kind of deal?
The way my brain wrapped around it was, it just, like that airplane on In Search Of, that flies and lands
Hmm.
in the airport 50 years in the future, or whatever, and then flies back to wherever the hell it came from? Like one of those things, but it's a pterodactyl. So,
All right. Well,
the other thing I thought of was, what if it was like some kind of, glider, powered glider, but it was silent. That was the weird thing. There was no sound. There was, like, the whoosh sound over the trees and, like,
I mean, a
falling
glider doesn't
leaves,
make
but there was no,
a
like,
glider is
powered
gliding.
engine sound or something.
The glider doesn't have it glides.
Yeah.
They take it up in an engine
Oh,
craft and then
well,
they just let it go.
yeah,
So
but it,
I
like,
don't
wasn't
think
a
that it's
radio
got
controlled aircraft or anything, but it was literally as big as a parking lot, like a 3-lane parking lot, but still. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Wow.
But I went on the websites and looked at
Hmm.
it, and there's people that swear they've seen it, but there's no proof anywhere ever.
Well, we have a whole YouTube community
Yeah,
watching
if
us
you've
right
ever
now.
seen
We
one, let me
want to
know.
know,
It was
please.
about 1986, I would say, in, Southwest Florida. Yeah.
The great 1986 Southwest Florida SETI dactyl
Flew
sightings.
over, and then I ran. to follow it, and once it went past the trees, you couldn't see it anymore.
Wow.
What the hell was it? Where'd it go? Don't know.
I don't know, maybe were you outside of a theme park of some kind?
No, like you would think, right? Like Universal Studios or something, wherever the
I thought that
Jurassic Parks
Florida
are.
was all theme parks. I thought it was just theme
Mostly
parks.
theme parks, but not all
Okay.
theme parks. They have residential housing in between the theme parks. But yeah,
I see,
just
I
something
see.
that brought it up to me, and it's something I haven't thought about in years, since I went down that rabbit hole on the internet and figured, well, it was something, but I can't tell you what it was. It's just something weird.
Wow. That you could put that on your resume now, dinosaur hunter.
It wasn't intentional. I was a little fat kid with his shirt off and in bathing suit with a towel. W
Pterodactyl spotter.
Yeah. So, and, my mom's told people over the years she saw it too, and everybody's like, "That's weird." But that's as far as it goes. That's weird.
Oh, wow, it's funny, it reminds me of some sightings that my father-in-law and my grandfather-in-law told me about on very separate occasions, very, very different kinds of things, but we'll save that for another show.
Another show,
We
possibly an
gotta
after
keep
show.
people's appetites
Yeah.
whetted. We have to keep your appetites whetted.
Wetted.
Whetted.
Okay, so, did you wanna go ahead and, give her final thoughts and ratings?
Sure,
Crushes?
you
I don't
wanna go
know if there's a
first?
crush. I guess the horny girl was my crush? I don't know. Is there a crush in this episode?
SETI eel that was crushed underfoot.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So
Um,
there's a crush.
there's a crush. Trek and Tell, you got a Trek and Tell?
I was just going to show because now I'm getting into it again.
The sound design on this one's great too. Ooh, the
The
Wrath of
novelization
Khan.
of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. It's just nice to see Ricardo Montalban's face.
I
He
had it, but I
asks
didn't have that
me,
version.
and look, he's got a gleam in his eye,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like, what's that
cool.
about? It's like he's a Borg or he's Locutus a Borg,
That is cool. Did they put out like
right?
a, poster cover of that on a different edition maybe?
I think that of all the likenesses on this cover, Kirk's is probably the
Yeah,
worst.
Leonard's the best, I think.
Yeah, Leonard looks good. I think Ricardo looks good there
Kirk's
too,
just got
but
skewed
Kirk,
a bit.
he looked a little bit elfin.
They might have said he looks a little heavy, make him thin, and they just went
Right, right, right. So just to give you the cover price on this, it's pocketbooks. It's $3.50.
You
That's how
remember
long
when
ago
stuff
I
was
got this thing.
$3.50?
I do. I think my edition of The Hobbit is $3.50 too.
Wow. Speaking of $3.50,
Ought to be
this is my
young.
Trek and Tell. Went to the comic book shop, and my pull
Oh,
was a little full. So we got some more.
yeah,
Let
yeah.
me make this
Some
bigger for me so I can see.
horror dicks.
Yep, Lower Decks comic books. What issue is that? I'm looking. It looks like 8 through 11. So I thought just show the covers off. You recognize this at all?
That looks like Quark as Jaws.
Yeah, the 50th anniversary is like right now, and they put that out. That's pretty cool. So I haven't
Oh,
read
that's
these yet. I
neat.
just picked them up. So I'm excited to read 8 through 11. That's Tindy.
Are they any good?
Yeah, they're great. And what's great about it is it's the same as the animated show. Like in your brain, like your brain just converts it to the cartoon because you hear the voices and you see the
I
drawings,
see.
and the drawings look the same
Mm-hmm.
as the show. So this one I'm excited about. Looks like they go to a
Cool.
like a water planet maybe, or they're down in Cetacean
Cetacean
Ops
Ops.
hanging out with them. I don't know. But it looks like it'll be fun. The one I'm excited about, and the reason we went to the comic book store, Serenity and I, is because they have Voyager Homecoming coming out. And they didn't have it in yet, so they special ordered it for me. So hopefully when we go Tuesday, they'll
Is
have
that an
Homecoming.
adaptation of the series finale?
Yeah, it's like no, well, it's they're starting a new line of Voyager comics, and I believe I haven't read it yet, but I believe it's like season 8 of Voyager when they're the in a timeline to where they made it home.
Okay.
So
Wow. I thought they already made it home.
there's
I'm
multiple
so
timelines
confused.
going on, so it'll be interesting. But
I see.
it reminded me of the book Homecoming, Voyager Homecoming. I don't know if it's the same story, but if it is, then that means we'll get to see Michael Sullivan again, which will be cool.
All right. And we'll make them
All
shorter
right, so
or taller.
do we go to final thoughts and ratings or trivia? What do we do? You want to give me trivia? It's been so long
I'll
since
give
we
you
didn't have a
trivia.
guest.
I know, yeah, I've been given the trivia a lot, but I'll give you trivia.
Thank you. I still
Alright?
haven't got my oh, here they are. I do have ooh, let me see. Maybe I can ask you.
Alright, well, I got one ready to go.
You got one
It's
ready to
your
go? Well,
choice.
we haven't asked you in forever, have we?
Probably not.
Alright, let's see if I can do
But
this.
do you have one ready to go?
I might, and I have a flashlight
This is
tonight.
how the sausage is made, everybody.
In the Voyager episode, I got you for 3 questions.
Oh, no, Voyager!
Yeah, but we did talk about this a couple episodes back, I think, with Sean, when Sean Farrick was with us. In
Mhm.
the Voyager episode, Message in a Bottle, which alien hunters are displaced when they learn their relay station is being used by Voyager? So maybe not, that's different.
The corn
Message in a
on the
Bottle
cob
and
farm
Ship in a Bottle,
people.
those are different. Huh?
Yeah. It's the corn on the cob farmy people.
No, this is a different alien. Do you remember
Oh.
those alien hunter dudes that were huge?
The Kazon.
No, they didn't have silly hair.
I
They were
don't
more
know
like
anything about
predators.
Voyager, so no.
Okay, the Hirogen.
No.
They were like predators.
Oh, okay.
Okay, question number
Gotcha.
2. I got you for 3 questions. This is question number 2. Play along at home. Comment down
Alright,
below.
I'm 0 for 2, 0 for
What
3
long
so
kept
far.
secret does Captain Picard reveal to Dr. Crusher in the Next Generation episode Attached?
That he was in love with her, but he couldn't act on it because she was Jack's woman.
Yes. The answer is
Okay.
that he had been in love with her for many years. Oh man, did I
And then
squeak
they did
spoon
nothing with that.
in that episode, man? I thought that was the beginning. Then they fast forward to all good things. Okay, 3 questions. You got 1 right, you got 1 not as
1.
right, and you got 1 left. All right?
Okay, it's for all the marbles.
All the marbles. Frank
This is for 2 out of the
Costanza
3 marbles.
no, Frank Gorshin ooh, there you go. You already know. Plays Bella Beal? Belly? In the original series episode, Let That Be Your Last Battlefield, but was best known for playing whom on the television series Batman?
Riddle me
Riddle me
this.
this, Batman. Good, good, good. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, my friend.
All right.
All
There
right.
we go. There we go.
Good job. All right. So what do we do?
So,
Final thoughts and
not so
ratings?
bad for me.
I'll go first because you're more eloquent when it comes to audio dramas, I think. Um, again, this is just chapter 2 for me. So I wasn't as excited and I wasn't probably as hyped up. I was more like, okay, I'm settling in and just kind of dig, you know? So, but I felt like I was there. So I think they did a great job writing. I think they did a great job with production. I think I appreciate it more after talking it through with you. Um, and I want to see what's going to happen, you know, with the relationships and also, you know, how many people will they lose just because of the wildlife and stuff like that. And well, will they be able to communicate with these wild boars and they go agree, disagree? I don't know. So, for this episode, I'm going to give it, let me look, 3.5 duck-billed koala bears.
Oh, hey,
That
there
was
you
interesting, right?
go.
Did you picture
Very
that when you were
nice.
listening?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I am really digging the pacing of this. This is good audio drama, but it also has a nice literary bent. I'm right now reading a brand new book. I just started it yesterday, and it's thick, and
Is it the one I
it's
wrote?
science fiction. It's the one you wrote, yes. It's science fiction. It's set like in a society 400, 500 years from now,
Okay, like
and
it.
there's a lot of stuff going on, and they present it like the world as it is. So you have to read for a little while to sort of understand what they're talking about, to sort of get into the headspace of the author and to know what this world is like. What are the social constructs like? What's going on here? And I feel like after 4 or 5 chapters in a good book, that stuff will really start to click and you get really into it, and it's like all that stuff that seemed like a little confusing in the beginning all starts to gel and you feel like, "Oh, now I'm invested in this book." I think that's a good technique, and I feel like had we not known the ending point of Khan and Wrath of Khan, you would have been in that phase here in the telling of this story. The world is starting to come to life. The characters are starting to click. It's everything's starting to sort of come together narratively so that now you're invested in going forward with these characters. We had sort of the setting the stage in the first episode. Now we have sort of a little bit more meat here, a little bit more character work so that you're not only interested in the overall story, but you're interested in these characters as people and what's going to happen to them. The only thing that we do know is that Khan survives.
Mhm.
We don't know what's going to happen to anybody so far that we've introduced, except for the fact that MacGyver's is probably dead,
Hmm.
according to what Khan says to Chekhov. So, and I guess Joachim is going to get off the planet with him as well. But that being said, I like this one better than the first one, and I give the first one 5 out of 5 because I was just such a gushing fanboy because I was just so
Right,
happy to
right.
have a Star Trek audio drama. But this one is a real, let's temper that one. That one was about 3.5, 3.7 out of 5 because it set the stage well. This one is so much better. It's so much more superior in my brain as both compelling audio drama and like a nice sort of literary hook. So for that, I'm going to give it 4.5. We'll give it 4.5 because maybe it'll go up again.
Maybe.
And
Gotta
we'll
leave
see. We'll
room.
see. Right? Got to leave room. So I'm going to give it 4.5. What was the big stinky flower? The carrion flower? 4.5 carrion flowers out of
Nice.
so
Nice.
blood red, I say, out
You
of
know what the
5.
best part of finishing this episode is? We get to go listen to the next episode.
Yay!
What is the next episode, Chris?
I'm not really sure. Didn't you find the title earlier?
I texted you. I texted
I
you the
just write
name.
question marks.
Oh, but I
We've
texted
been over
you
this and over
earlier, like
this.
22 minutes ago. It was in our
22
conversation.
minutes ago. Let me see. You were talking about
Well, an hour and
Fox
22, probably.
News.
Nope.
Then there's a picture of Leah Thompson on my feed. I don't know what that's
Yeah, it was
about.
after that. It was
I'm
after
just
that.
calling it like I
It was
see it
while I was
here.
making notes. It was while
Okay.
I was making notes.
Okay, that wasn't texting. It was probably on Messenger, maybe. See, this is the problem.
Probably.
You text me, you messenger
Or
me, you
Insta
email
or
me, you
Grinder.
just give me Insta, right? Exactly.
Yeah, what's that
So
one that
let's see what
with
it's
the
called.
ghost?
Yeah, the ghosts, right?
Yeah, the ghost one.
Um, the hell are you talking
I don't know. What is that one called?
about? Episode 3 is called "Do Your Worst." That's what you wrote
Do
here.
your worst.
I did my worst finding that, so it's where it's a harbinger of things to come.
It is. I'm
I'm
excited
doing my
about that
worst.
one. And we might be covering other things coming up, right? We got a captain's table coming up soon.
Yeah, to talk about the final or this not the final season, but the most recent season of Strange New Worlds in retrospect
Yes, for all our crew
as
members.
a yeah.
So there's still time to get in on that if you want to join YouTube members or Patreon. And of course, it will be led by our fearless captain, Captain Charles.
From Texas, Captain Charles on the
Yep.
bridge.
Yay, Captain
And
Charles. And we get to sit around and be at the captain's table with Captain Charles and we all talk about what just happened.
so, for any of you out there who are listening and watching and you want to get in on that, it's very easy to get yourself a seat at the captain's table. All you have to do is support the show either right here on the YouTube channel or support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Treksploration at any level. And you will have access to our special. We try to do this when every series wraps up. We did it with the third season of Strange New Worlds, I believe. I think we also did it with the final season of Disco. So this will be our third captain's table?
Maybe. I'm not a captain, so I don't keep
Maybe?
track.
Yeah.
We need a statistician.
Yeah, I don't
If anybody wants to volunteer.
So yeah, so come on down, support us here, youtube.com/@Treksploration, or you can also do so at patreon.com/Treksploration. You can also click
Exploration.
on this QR code. Click on this code. You don't click it, you scan it.
Scan
Scan
it,
this
click
QR
on
code
it.
that Albie has just put up right now, and you can support us in a one-time fashion. You can also buy us a coffee, buymeacoffee.com/Treksploration. And even if you don't want to do that, please like, subscribe, share this
Sharing
show.
is as important, and make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can grow the stashes.
Right. I'm still you know what I was thinking? I was thinking I might try to do like the William Powell, like, Nick and Nora, Nick Charles,
Oh, yeah?
just like that little
It
pencil thin
counts.
mustache one,
There must be a way to do
right?
that. You probably stick your lips under your teeth or something and shave down. I don't know how that works. I could never be that artistic. Yeah.
and I have to use like an old-time straight
I
razor to
tried for
do it.
years to have
So
the triangle sideburns. Can never do it. So,
oh, I
yeah,
can't do sideburns. I
no.
can barely do
Yeah,
like what I got going on
exactly.
here.
I'm so
Yeah,
I can't. I end up shaving my whole sides of my head to get a mohawk.
right.
So, but we're gonna try to grow mustaches.
We're gonna become progressively space
Yeah,
hippies,
so make
so
sure you,
it's up to
like
you.
and subscribe.
All
You hit
right.
that goal, we're wearing the stashes.
You know it. You know it. Send me some mustache wax. P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705.
Have you gotten any, self-addressed stamped envelopes yet?
Nope,
Damn it.
gotten nothing. No one's going to copy this key and come and steal our mail. Is that why we don't have anything in the box? Is that what's
I don't
happening?
know, maybe somebody's stealing the mail. Maybe I didn't blur out the key
Somebody
once.
told me he's gonna blur this out, like someone's gonna copy this key. You're out of your mind. You're a crazy person.
You don't know the internet, man. They'll be like, "I gotta get that SETI Alpha eel."
I mean, the thing is, I'm showing my fingers on camera. Someone's gonna isolate my
Oh,
fingerprints and
no!
steal
Now
all
you're gonna be at a
my
crime
identity.
scene in Urich.
You're gonna be in a crime scene on the cliffs of SETI Alpha-5.
Exactly.
All right,
Yeah.
we better go. I have to flee.
All right,
I can hear that helicopter circling above us
I will
right
talk
now.
to you next time. And thank you everybody for listening along with us, and keep subscribing and watching and Treksploration. For Treksploration, I'm Albie.
I'm Chris.
This is SETI Alpha 5, and we'll see you next time.
Sideways flowing, we set the stage. This is Albie Rhythms from every age. Capture Charles, get ready to the cosmic tide. Get our limited look. Time to ride.